Hello, everyone, and welcome to this wonderful KMD Books author interview with the wonderful Dr. Finbar McGrady, who is the author of Accidental Ironman. Welcome, Finbar.
Thanks, Karen.
So you are over in Ireland cooking, and I'm over in Australia freezing. Like, where's the logic in that? It's not happening.
We're going through a heat wave here, so if you see the shine coming off my head, we're just not used to it like you would be.
Yeah, our blood is
I,
thin and we're freezing, and we're both actually the same temperature because we're like 24 degrees and it feels cold. So there
we're
you
in the way
go.
up. But I spent a couple of years in Australia,
You
so
did.
I know what it's like. But it's fairly wears off when you come back home. You acclimatize back to the cold again pretty quick.
Yeah. And it's all part of your journey and part of what you share in this book that you've pulled together, which has been an epic journey and experience for the book coming together, but also in your life. And you own a skin clinic, don't you, in Ireland?
Yep, that's right. That's where I'm sitting today. Actually, you'll see
Yeah.
the pictures of the hall and all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went from general practice, which I trained in initially. Well, graduated from medicine 27 years ago now, and after 10 years or so as a GP, I made the transition into dermatology, and I've been doing that for the past, oh, I want to say 12 years. And
Yeah.
over the past few years, really, mainly working in my own skin clinic here. So that's been a big shift for me.
Absolutely. And there is a demand for it. You think Ireland, why would, like Australia, skin cancer is so prominent, but Ireland, why would you? Well, it's totally important, isn't it? It's about,
Absolutely. But if you think about the Australians, for example, they're mostly are Celtic type skin living
Yes.
in the tropical climates, and that's why there's so much skin cancer out there. But equally, we have a lot of outdoor workers here, farmers, builders, even athletes, people out walking, running, and a lot of the problems arise in their childhood and their teenage years from sunburns. And
Yeah.
people are living longer now, they get into their 60s and 70s. And in our clinic here, we're taking off about 20 skin cancers a month. So it's a big part of our work as well. We do lots of skin screening and skin checks, but that's only half of the business. The other half is your inflammatory stuff, all the acnes, eczemas. And when I worked in Australia, I realized you get that stuff no matter where in the world you are. That's
Yeah.
prevalent across all the countries.
Exactly. And in Australia, we've got the culture of our kids are taught slip, slap, slop. So it's a culture you put on your cream every day so you're protected, whereas in Ireland, it's not a thing.
The number of people, because we've had a heat wave this week, the number of people who've come in to see me and even to have a skin check worried about skin cancer, they're coming in with sunburn. Oh,
Yeah.
it still hasn't fully reached it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. So, Accidental Ironman, journey from, burnout to belief. Let's talk about this journey because you are an intuitive person. I got to know that in you, and you have so much courage and are guided to next steps. And you experience burnout. So, can you talk to us about what that's like and maybe what people can, maybe identify in their own lives what that might look like?
Yeah, well, for me, when I was burning out, I didn't realize that's what it was. I just thought it was stressed and unhappy. So would you say I'm intuitive? I don't know. I just go with the flow and go
Yeah.
with things. And I was burning out, I would say around 2010, 2011. Although at the time I was blaming everything. I was blaming the system that I was working in. I was blaming my colleagues. I was blaming the patients who were coming in to see me. Although still doing my best to try and do a good job. And I thought it was everyone else's fault, and I wasn't really looking at myself. So that is only a more recent realization that I was actually burnt out when I look back on it. Now, today, there's a lot more discussion around this, like there is with all mental health. I think there's a lot more awareness, and people are more upfront about discussing not being right, being
Yeah.
either down or depressed. And that's a good thing that we're more open about that. But back then, very much the culture in medicine
Mm.
is, everyone else is in the same boat. So you just get on with it. And I
Yeah.
think for a lot of the audience in this, there might be similar, it's that type of where everyone else has got 100 emails coming in a day and phone calls and everything else to do. And they've got to pick up the kids and do this and do that and look after their parents and all that. So just get on with it. But
Yeah.
that's not, that's, you don't need to worry about what other people are doing. You have to be true to yourself. So, yeah, I made a couple of brave decisions back in 2012 to
Yeah.
try and get myself out of what I that's that stuck feeling.
And
you
you
know.
know, you can look back now in hindsight and know that you made the right choices, you know, for your life right then. And they were brave decisions. Like, didn't you come to like, can you believe that was 16 years ago? Like, what?
It's mad. It's unbelievable. I think like I was in my late 30s then, and I can't. People think, oh, you should have it together by that stage.
Mm,
You've got your career, you've got your young family, and everything from the outside. If somebody's looking in and thinking, oh, look at him, he's a doctor, he's doing well, he's happily married, he's got kids. What's to complain about? But that's not necessarily the way, and that wasn't my lived experience. I was stressed and I had family issues. I had undergone a significant bereavement with my cousin,
mm,
and that was difficult. And look, everyone in life has these challenges and these difficult times, but through all this, this is when we grow, we learn, and
that's
we just learn how to handle life better.
yeah,
Even remember back at that time when I was burning out, and every challenge that would be, even if it was medical practice, and it wasn't necessarily the patient, it was a directive that came from the health service or some new thing we had to do, or some hoop we had to jump through.
mm,
Everything felt like another fire to put out.
yeah,
Every problem was a disaster. It was just so stressful. These things still happen in life, and they will continue to happen, but it's how you meet them, how you raise your game to meet those challenges and then get on with them. You're a very cool, calm, collected customer yourself, Karen. So I'm sure you've had a few challenges to deal with.
listen, life happens to us all. There's always adversities all around us, but whenever we take care of ourselves and keep ourselves a cup full, I suppose, you know, for want of a better word, then things don't affect you. So you're able to stay in your central column and deal with them and make decisions and find solutions that are aligned. And it doesn't, if you're way above the line, you don't fall below the line, don't you know? Finbar, that's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah. So you say though earlier that I made some courageous and brave decisions, but for me at the time, it wasn't like that. I didn't feel that I was being courageous. In fact, in many ways, you could nearly say that I was running away. I was being cowardly in some ways because I decided to take my family and moved to the other side of the world for a year to take a sabbatical from my job. I was running away. Now, in hindsight, maybe some counseling or bereavement therapy may have been all I needed. But actually, that adventure that created has helped me ever since. But not only me, my kids now, they're in their late teens and early 20s. They have that sense of adventure
Yeah.
and that's rubbed off on them. So that's been a bonus from it all. So
Yeah.
I don't know that it was brave. I think it was more that I felt like I had no other choice. I had to keep
Yeah, you
going.
knew it was the next step that it was,
Yeah.
and it took like I know because in 2008 I did exactly the same. I just haven't gone back yet.
You're hitting 20 years soon
I
then.
came here
Yeah.
for 2 years and I'm still here 18 years later. But you know, that's
Your
the
husband,
thing.
your husband must have been more generous with his time frame then with you. I had a year, I had 1 year to make the difference, and I had to go back. But I had to go back into the job again, and I went
Yeah,
back, and I discovered though that when people say to you, "Oh, look, you go to Australia and you think the grass is greener on the other side," but
yeah,
look, I didn't find that the grass necessarily was greener. I found myself, and
yeah,
I found the realization that I have a choice, and I can make choices and I don't have to be under the pressure of the system or anyone or anything. But even then, when I came back from that sabbatical in Australia into the job that I was previously doing before I left, the job hadn't changed. I had changed,
it changed.
but I still I wasn't aligned with that job anymore. I
Yeah.
wasn't prepared to put up with somebody pointing the finger and telling me what to do. So I left that ultimately.
Yeah.
So
But
I
the
think
thing is, it all works out though, doesn't it, Finbar? Because people don't see that they think that they have to stay, that they have to make it work. It everything works out if you make those big choices and take steps in. Yes, you're going to meet some challenges, but when there's challenges, there's growth. They're there to help you grow into and you're always rewarded for your bravery. I always believe from anything I've ever witnessed for anyone choosing to go on the journey, you're always rewarded for your bravery. Like you love what you do now. You know what I mean? Like that's you love where you are. You wouldn't change that story for the world, wouldn't you know?
No, but I still have to be mindful though
Yes.
about I love what I'm doing, but when I start to do too much, I
Yes.
then start to get some of those feelings back, and I have to be more self-aware and say,
Yeah.
Finbar, catch yourself on. You need to take another day off here, or you need to do something
Yeah.
different because you have to constantly check.
Yes.
You've never like reached the solution or the answer. You may be more aware, but you have to be conscious enough
Yeah.
to not let yourself fall into the same traps. As you said, there's no growth. There's no growth in comfort. You have to make yourself a wee bit uncomfortable. And just that other point you say about other people feeling stuck. I do talk to a lot of other doctors and people who feel that they are stuck in their job, and they'll come up with all the problems about why they can't move,
Yes.
why they can't make a decision, the mortgage and, superannuation, the pension pot and all this here. But I think people, get themselves into that identity and
Yeah.
they draw a boundary around themselves and then they're stuck. But
I
it's
agree.
about changing the mindset about, you've always got a
It's your
choice. That's one.
perspective. Yeah, it's your
Yeah.
perspective on it. And if you are getting burned out, like what I do is because I don't ever want, if I'm burnt out, that serves nobody, and I have a lot of kids to take care of and stuff. So I have to, it's my obligation to not burn out. So what I do
Yeah.
is I do the most, if I have the biggest list and it's over, I close up the diary and I go to the beach or I do different things and I go and fill myself up. And then I come back and I do things and I'm so productive. I do them in
Yeah.
quarter of the time. I'm putting really good energy into them. So it's just
Yeah.
knowing when that is for you because it'll serve not just you, but everyone around you benefits from taking that type of perspective.
That's self-care, self-love. One of
Mm.
you have to look after yourself first, and that's one of the realizations. I see that in patients who come to me all the time.
Yeah.
They're looking after their young ones, they're looking after their parents maybe, and they are having no time to themselves. Their
Yeah.
stress levels raised, their skin flares up, their
Yeah.
rosacea, their acne, whatever it is. And one of the like they're always looking, what cream do I need? What treatment do I need? I say, have a wee chat here. Do you need to take a little bit of time to meet with your
Yeah.
friends and go for coffee?
It's an
You don't
inside
think
job.
about that.
Sort of,
Like
yeah.
literal treatments for rosacea. Yeah, coffee breaks. Although it may
Yeah.
trigger acutely. But it's about that self-care, massive part of overall health for sure.
Yeah, anyone watching this, just take a check for yourself. Do a self check. Do an audit of yourself. What time are you taking for yourself? What are you doing for because in doing that, you're serving others. It's that, and it's important to prioritize yourself. So let's go and talk about this. What year was it? Whenever you chose to accidentally sign up for a full Ironman?
It was only 2 years ago, 2024. It was just before this time of the year, about
Yeah.
April, May time. A friend of mine, I had been quite obsessive with triathlon after I'd returned from Australia and for a few years and did quite well at it. And then decided during lockdown that I needed to take a break. I sort of, like I tend to do, I go a bit hard at things and burn out a bit. So even then, with all my self-awareness, I didn't see that one coming. So I took a break from triathlon. And then a friend in 2024 said, "Oh, look, if you want to get back into doing something." I mean, during that time I was out of triathlon, I was climbing mountains and I was running over hills and, having adventures with friends. I was still active, but
Yeah.
the triathlon drew me back. There was something about going to races, meeting the people, having the
Yeah.
chats, the technology, the bikes, the whole fun of it that I missed. So he said, there's a group of us going to do a half Ironman in Portugal in Cascais. And I said, "Oh, that sounds good. I'll sign up for that."
Yeah.
So unknown to me, I signed up back in that April, May time for the full Ironman, not the half distance, because I assumed whenever you told me they're all going to do the half, both events were on the same day, and I assumed there was only one, and I missed it. And I didn't find out until a few days before the race in October that same year.
Yeah.
And that was what the accidental bit was. It was just a silly mistake on my part.
Yeah.
But some people have said to me since there's no such thing as an accident.
Mm-hmm.
It was meant to
Exactly.
be. The challenge was there for you, and you were then given that challenge. Do you sink or swim?
How
And
did
if
you
you
do
did
it? How did you do it? Is mind over matter in those situations and your body,
you,
like it must have been fit.
you, you can say that about any challenge in life,
Yeah.
like writing a book. Somebody suggested I write a book, and then I was talking to you, and I was thinking, I always thought writing a book was a bit mad. How do you write a book? You start
It's
You
out there.
start, you
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
going, and then you finish. And that's the same with doing an Ironman. You start, you keep going, you finish.
Yeah.
So it's not like writing a book you didn't know how to read in advance, and not like I haven't read loads of books. It was,
Mm.
some that never done, but then you get guided and you get help
And
through
it's
the
out of
way.
your comfort zone, isn't it? And you find your way. It's just about endurance, really, isn't it? Just keeping going
Endurance,
on.
endurance. Keep going. Obviously, not going too hard too early.
Yeah,
Making sure you're fueling yourself along the way. You're getting plenty of hydration. You're getting
yeah,
plenty of sugar into the body. That you're taking the right timing and effort levels throughout. Because it was an 11-hour day for me, and I
yeah.
wasn't even
Wow.
hadn't even trained to the ability that I was capable of.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things I didn't know where I was going, but I just took it with an open mind and thought, look, this is an adventure today. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. I heard something funny yesterday I'm going to share with you because and this I was in a group and this woman was sharing about how she was doing this race, a cycling race, and the person she was supposed to do it with, I think it was her ex-husband, they were supposed to do it together, the cycling race, and he didn't show up. And she says that the thing that got her through the whole cycling race was the anger that fueled every. Got her through it and got her to the end of the line. She had to just let it out somewhere. She was so cross. And I was like, we can find our fuel from so many different parts of our life. It's such a good release. Any kind of exercise. Now, I am a person who is not very fit. I'm a writer. I like writing. I do a lot of stuff. And now I've started exercising and I feel great. It just,
Yeah.
the endorphin, like everything is just energized in my life because I'm getting up in my butt and doing it.
But
Like,
Karen,
isn't
let
it the
me
best
stop
advice?
you. Can I stop you there?
Yes.
You just said I'm not the sort of person who exercises or something like that. What do
Yeah.
you say now? What are
Oh,
you?
I can't not do it.
Runner? You're a runner. You're
Yeah.
a fit person. You see, it's that identity shift. You tell
Yeah.
yourself that you are these things. I
Just the
am.
stories. Yeah. You
Yeah,
tell yourself.
stories. And it might not even be the story you told yourself. It might be the story you heard at school.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not very good at PE. You're,
No,
you know,
I
you're
avoided PE at all costs. I used to be the one that had sickness all the time that I wrote
Ah,
myself.
the note from mommy, the note from mommy. Yeah, well, yeah, so we can change the narrative in our own head and say, I always said, like, doing an Ironman is crazy. Who in their right mind would do that? It's mad.
Can you
Even
tell
still
us
for
what's involved in Ironman? How long is it? Like at what stage?
Yeah, well, the actual event, it's a 3.8 kilometer swim. Then you have to run about a kilometer to get to your bike where you change your clothes, you get on your bike, and you cycle for 180 kilometers. And then you rack your bike up, you get on your running shoes, and you run for a full marathon, which is 26 miles or 40 kilometers or thereabouts.
Wow.
So I had only ever ran 20 kilometers in the one go.
Yeah, yeah,
In my life. So there was a total uh, nightmare. The run part was the
yeah, yeah,
most difficult bit for me because it's just your legs get so. I remember getting around the run just thinking there was 3 laps. So I had this security blanket. My hotel room overlooked the start line. It was a really nice
yeah.
room,
Okay.
and it was 3 laps, and the lap would like pass by my hotel, and I thought, well, I can do one lap, and then I'll see. And so I did the second lap, and I was really suffering. And I knew I had one more lap to go, but I thought, well, I've been out all day. There's no way I'm not going to do this last
Yeah,
lap, even though I was in a lot of pain. But the funny thing was, the pain wasn't the usual pain I would have with a short distance race,
yeah,
which is up here. It's your heart and lungs screaming for oxygen. This was different. It was like the legs were just done. And luckily there was a lot of encouragement along the way. It's the same.
yeah,
This is a metaphor for a life. There's encouragement. You need people to support you and say, "Come on, you can do this." I
yeah.
know it hurts. I know it's difficult. But what good thing ever happened to you that wasn't difficult or
Mm.
wasn't just earned? And it was the funny story that the one of the Irish contingent who were supporting some other athletes were telling me on the first lap said, Finbar, keep going, you're looking strong. And by the time it came to the last lap, he said, good lad, Finbar, keep tiddling along there. So
Tiddling. I haven't heard that word in years. Let's keep
tiddling,
tiddling.
tiddling, yeah. Yeah, so for international listeners, that's probably a word that wouldn't be recognized. Just means, shuffling
Yeah.
really along. And I laughed and I took it in a way it was intended as encouragement, but I
Yeah.
could have been offended, but I chose to be amused by it.
Yeah, amused by it. That's the thing. And don't take things too seriously. Get through the pain barrier. You get over the finish line, isn't it? And it's the same with anything in life, not just Ironman. It's anything that you want to achieve. You have to want it enough to put all of you in it, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a long day, but actually I got it done in 11 hours, which in the grand scheme of my life has been a tiny little half a day. So even during that event, now that's a very baked into my memory, that 11 hours is
Mm.
proportionately long time in my brain. But within that, there were multiple little goals along the way. You know, you
Yeah.
got to get through the swim, but even the swim, it was to get to the first buoy, to get to the corner, to get, every part
Mhm.
of the journey, you break it down into small sections.
Yes.
You've got out of the water, you've got to get onto your bike safely, all these little things. And
Yeah.
that's the same in life with challenges. You don't need the answer to how you're going to deal with a problem. You need to just start. You need
Yeah,
to
exactly.
start and keep going, like writing a book.
It's the
How do you
same as
write a book?
writing a book. I was going to bring it like it's each chapter. It's like let's just get
Yeah.
started. You don't need to know it all now. In case, in fact, if you know it all now, you're going to be overwhelmed. So let's take it one step at a time, and just get through each chapter. And and writing the book for you, like you could never have on, knowing, like there was emotional parts, there was things that you revisited that you were like, wow, I'm remembering this. This is coming. This needs to be in the book. So what was your whole experience of writing the book, Finbar?
I would say, in a word, cathartic.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful thing to do. And I felt that afterwards. And, it all actually came together because, I knew it inside out, obviously. But when I actually got the physical paper copy at the end, the final productive version, I just decided I'm going to sit and read this. And I had tears in my eyes at the end. I just felt, a sense
Pride.
of achievement,
Yeah.
pride. Yeah, that's the
And
word.
it's deserved. That's why, it takes endurance to go through the journey. And
Yeah.
I feel very blessed to have joined you on the journey. We had a really good rapport. We made it happen and it didn't feel hard, which was because you're so open-minded and open to the journey and you didn't struggle. Not that I went, but the wonderful thing is, and the affirmational thing is, and the validating thing, the reviews you're getting are absolutely amazing. Like you're getting hugely, really, really good reviews, aren't you?
And I'm getting them from text message. So you haven't seen
Yeah.
most of them, and they're
Yeah.
people like know me and are sending me messages, and it's really lovely to get that. Like, because I don't know why I wrote this really. I didn't. It's not that I was trying to become a famous author or anything like that, but it's for me. My life is all about pushing on the door that's
Mm. Yeah.
open in front of me right now, and let's explore. It's adventure, and that's my personality type. Go with the flow of the adventure,
Yeah.
and that's what this book was about. It was an adventure. I've gone with it, and now that I've got it published and it's there, I just think there's so much value in it that's going to help so many
Yeah.
people. People who
Yeah.
feel stuck in life, people who feel that they're just not sure where to turn next or what to do next, and
Mm.
that they've got no choices. And the message of the book is that you can take a change in direction no matter what age you are, no matter where you are in life, and you can overcome the challenges. Now, that doesn't mean that there are people who will be limited by health reasons and things like that, but they're not limited by in their thoughts and their thinking and in their attitude to life. So
Yeah.
there's so many things that I've learned along the way. Although I still have to keep checking myself. My daughters are very good at reminding me, get off your dad. Be
Just keep your
present,
feet on the
you
ground
know,
here.
get
Yeah.
get back into the moment here.
Yeah, it is a phenomenal book. Like I'm so impressed with how it came together and the message in it is just so and how openly you share all aspects of your life and for others and you were called to this like let's just say it is you were called to write a book and you answered the call, had the courage to, you didn't even have a clue how you were going to do it. You just said, all right, I'm going to go on this adventure, just like you went on lots of adventures in life. And you took each step along the way and just and did it, even in the discomfort of some of the steps. And that it's the same with anything that you seem to approach in life. And that message is woven throughout this book, as much as it is the journey of writing and publishing it. So kudos to you. We're celebrating today. We are going for a #1 campaign on Amazon. So go and get your Amazon Kindle copy so we can get this book into the charts and get it out there further and wider because it deserves to be out there and inspiring so many people because it's even so much more than an Ironman story. It's there's just so much in it, and kudos to you for showing up and sharing it with the world.
Well, that's one of the things that's maybe a little strange. The title and the picture on the front depicts this Iron Man adventure. There's very little about the Iron Man in it. It's
I
not
know.
about triathlon at all. It's not actually anything to do with that. You don't have to be sporty. It's not for sports people. That's just the vehicle that drove the actual idea behind the messages in the book.
Yeah. Well, it is the message, isn't it? Just keep going, have courage, say yes, even when
Yeah.
you're nervous. Embrace those moments that embrace the moments that were, oh, was that supposed to happen? Oh well, I gotta do it now. Instead
Yeah.
of running the other way. Thank you so much for showing up, writing the book, and thank you so much for this interview. I'm sure everyone will get so much from it. And go and grab your copy of Accidental Ironman today, guys. And we'd love to hear your reviews.
Thank you.